So as we go through starting your budget, I'm also going to go through different strategies, and we're going to pair that with time, because that's the most underestimated thing that people don't realize in these different spaces is time versus money. The return on time, ROT. So when we're setting the budget, the very basic thing you need is a car and an LLC. Doesn't matter how you get the car. And an LLC, at the very least, you guys can make payments on it, but it typically costs about $600. So I set the budget anywhere around $1,500. That's to be safe. That has nothing to do with the car. You're not going to buy the car with the $1,500. So I would say you should have at least $1,500 to start in this venture comfortably, because I don't want you guys overly worried about income coming in. Okay. The second part of this is figuring out the strategy. So this is how we determine the strategy, and this is how I teach my students, okay? So the first thing is to think about is how much time do you have to dedicate it? So if you work 40 hours on a business or a job, I don't recommend you do this full time or even part time. I recommend you become an investor. And that's where you actually send your car to people like me and you get your car ran, and all you do is collect the money. Now you make passive income, and it's beneficial because if you only have a job like W-2 income, you're actually going to be able to have business income coming in from passive activities like owning a car that other people rent out. Now, let's say you guys work part-time. You guys are going to have anywhere from 1 to about 4 cars max. You guys are going to be doing more long-term rentals. You guys are going to be doing less turnovers, meaning you guys aren't going to be doing 2 to 3 day rentals. You guys want to do 2-week to a month rentals because you have some time, but you don't have all the time in the world to just be sending out cars, okay? So I would cap that at 4 cars that you manage, and then potentially do some co-hosting and have send your cars to other people. 3, if you guys are like, I want this to be my bread and butter, then your strategy is going to be a different ball game. You guys can get the finance cars and the cash cars. You guys don't have time to bring the cars to the shop. You're going to have time to do all these different things. So right now is a good time to determine, based on time, what your strategy is. Because if you are a part-time person, you're not really going to be buying any cash cars. If you're an investor, you might. If you are full-time, you might. So there's different ways to get into the space, but we should deal with it based off your time. Because I have a lot of students that got into this space years ago, and they didn't realize how much time it was going to take. And they have full-time jobs. So they wind up sending their cars to me, which is still good, and you still should get the education, but I want you guys to pick your strategy at this point. So as we go further through the course, you guys truly understand, okay, these are the different things that I'm able to do based off of my strategy.